What's up, Internet? We are here out in the majesty of Kanto because it turns out we're only about halfway through the game because second gen Pokemon was just sort of that majestic. I don't really remember how we go about doing this now. I know the core idea is we have to go beat up 8 more gym leaders, steal some badges, and since we're already in Vermilion, sort of halfway through them, if I recall, progression is a little bit weird, because, well, for lack of a better term, there's kind of a roadblock that'll prevent us from, if I recall, getting to the earlier bits, so we kind of have to go through the later bits first, if I recall. At least up to a point. What the hell had, cut on it again? See, this is why stuff like HMs are just terrible. Ah, you do have cut. Does Salad have cut? You don't have cut. You're useless, Salad. Alright, we're gonna take Awesome on. Maybe he'll be good against, Surge, seeing as he's a ground type. But yeah, we basically have to start with Vermilion and work our way back to Pallet Town. Because, well, I've got a bike. If I recall, it should be right about, yeah, here. Diglett Cave is now blocked off by Snorlax. It's the only Snorlax in the game, too. But, we can't really do anything about that because we don't have a Poke-Flute. And there actually isn't one in this game, but we need something else that can, basically do the job of a Poke-Flute. So, we're going to go fight Lieutenant Surge, and it looks like my internet is about to die because my connection is garbage! Hooray! You know, it's an interesting situation I'm in. Until I get, like, a better connection, I can either go with a garbage connection that drops half my frames, or I can go with a good connection that disconnects every 2 seconds. Can't win for losing, I suppose. Anyway, this is sort of our classic Lieutenant Surge, everyone uses electric types sort of thing. Now, knowing that one of the big electric types is, of course, Magnemite, it sort of tells us that we can, in fact, use fire types as well, and at least get a little bit of an advantage against it. And hopefully not disconnect like 8 more times in the next hour or so. I mean, that would be ideal anyway. I've been told my Ethernet cable should be here in like 2 days, so hopefully it is. Because I would like to actually, you know, not disconnect every 2 seconds at the cost of not losing half the frames I'm streaming. That would be nice. Trying to do things well is tough. Anyway, yeah, so we're going up against Lieutenant Surge. It occurs to me we could probably just straight up use Cinder anyway, just by virtue of the fact it has Dig on it. If I recall, it has Dig anyway. It doesn't hurt that it's already so far below us because we had to level just to beat the Elite Four. Again, there's a bit of a sort of rollback in terms of levels, because if you try and match the Elite Four kind of as we did because I was having so much trouble because I'm a complete scrub, you know, you kind of end up in a situation where you out-level everything, and even if you were at the standard level of about 40 where we were prior, we'd still be out-leveling things, which is kind of a weird shift in leveling. And the funny thing is, by the end of it all, you're going to be fighting people that, like, massively out-level where you currently are, so it's almost weird that you're not getting sort of experience on par with your kind of expected level. So, progression in this game, it gets a little bit strange. But, Dig is quite effective against electric types, as it always is. And this is why you diversify your Pokemon's ability repertoire. You can have a fire type with an electric attack and a ground attack, and you are covered from water and ground things. Or, water and electric, yes, that's the ones I'm thinking of. Thanks, Brain. Setting up their electrodes to use rollout isn't necessarily a bad move either, but again, we're out-leveling them so massively that they don't get a chance. Now, if it was a situation where I missed a few times, that could actually be really deadly for Sin, because rollout, of course, gains progressive damage, because exponentialness. And there's cosplaying Falconer again. Once again, trying to stalk us, not getting that we're just not interested in him. I think we can take you. I mean, I'm pretty sure I could use my flying monster and be fine against you. That's a new sprite. I kind of like that. If it isn't Magnemite, the thing that would melt if I hit it with fire. Shame I don't really need to. Let's use Sludge Bomb. Doesn't affect. Probably just means it missed because these games aren't exactly clear all the time about stuff. That's okay, we got Feint Stack. We've got options. That's the important thing. It's always having options for your Pokemon. That way, no matter if you're fighting something you're good against or weak against, you can still sort of cover your bases. And I mean, I think your rival in Gen 1 was sort of the genesis of the idea that you have to be able to cover your bases and always take out your opponent in one turn, and that sort of crafted the mentality of what essentially like competitive Pokemon battling, in large sarcastic quotes, is. It's always under the idea that you have to take out your opponent in your first turn and you have to move first, and if you don't, you are probably dead. That's why you always have to sort of spread out your elements in terms of, like, if you plan on playing Pokemon quote-unquote professionally, is you have to understand how to sort of build up your monster to cover so many different bases at once. But from what I've also noticed, stuff like that also falls into so many sort of pits, because like every monster has like 1 or 2 at most builds. And because everyone plays like that, I would imagine that just using monsters out of left field that no one else uses might have its own advantages just on the virtue of no one would expect it. But it has the drawback of being probably less than statistically optimal. Trying to understand metagame with people playing stuff is always an interesting study. And that's why I like Pidgey, is the short version of that story. No one expects Pidgey, everyone hates it. And yet you use Pidgey, you use Toxic, and you just stall with Roost or whatever, and you're pretty much good forever. That was, what was that? That was Gen 4, 5 or 6, something like that, where I used a Pidgey and everyone laughed at me. And then they started crying when my Pidgey kicked their ass. Granted, they built like a level 1 Rattata around that concept too, where it endures the first move with 1 health, and has like an attack that drops your opponent's health to match, and then they quick attack and take out your opponent instantly. I've heard that particular strategy, and I think that's quite conceptually clever. I think it's a little bit gimmicky, but I think it's kind of conceptually neat. And I really do like when people go really in-depth and try and just find ways to kind of work around cleverly the way the game is built, outside of like what you would sort of standardly consider to be your initial like base idea for how to use one monster. Like, if I was using a Rattata, my first thing would be probably like Super Fang or Hyper Fang or whichever one it gets, just because of high crit, and that would be about it, because Rattata's kind of not all that interesting a monster, really. But then to see someone just kind of completely wreck shop with a Rattata is just quite conceptually amusing, and I like that sort of stuff. Actually, that's kind of why I like stuff like Final Fantasy V and 6. It's got lots of stuff like that as well. Like Final Fantasy V, the Blue Mage completely destroys that game, even though it seems like it's just a bunch of really hyper situational abilities. You can use it in such a way that you can completely just wreck shop in that game. Whereas, you know, Final Fantasy VI has like 1,000,001 different builds that can just completely destroy the game. I mean, offhand, my go-to is Rafflesia Rage, Moglulu's Charm. Because Rafflesia Rage charms anything into attacking themselves and healing you, and Moglulu's Charm runs from prevents any encounter that isn't a boss fight. So basically, you skip every fight that isn't a boss, and all the bosses kill themselves while healing you. And there's like 1,000,001 of those strategies in that game, but they require you to kind of understand in depth how the game works on sort of a... I don't want to say on a next level, because a lot of it is kind of obvious, but it kind of requires you to at least think about what you're doing, and I really appreciate that. Just trying to see, like, what sort of mechanics work well together and how they interact and sort of interfere with each other. It's fascinating, but I'm just a sort of kind of guy that loves studying games in general. Which is why I do this, I guess. You know, I love video games, and ever since the Flood happened, I can't really take a lot of time to make them, so I just talk about them. It's a way I can spread my passion, and that's what I like to do. Alright, so we're gonna go in with a bird monster. This is probably a bad idea, but we're gonna do it anyway. Still using the Raichu. Okay, now see, he's got a level boost on him. Good for you. I'm gonna use Steel Wing, because that seems like a good idea. That's gonna do a lot of damage. Oh, that did a lot of damage. I was not anticipating him getting a level boost over everyone else, honestly. Okay. Okay, well, we know what that's gonna do. Fair enough. Let's use Sin, then. Because I think Sin's gonna be like our ace in the hole for pretty much all these fights, except for the next one, which is water. Oh, that's cute. I'm gonna dig a hole. Try and hit me with lightning now, you stupid rat. Oh, that's right, you can't. See, this is where having Earthquake would be great, and Earthquake's just in general a great move. But we can't get it yet, because in H or TM you don't get till later, which sucks. Electrode. You're probably either going to use Rollout, or alternatively, you're going to self-destruct. Either way, I'm digging. That's an interesting technique. Now, I want to point out, we are fighting basically what is a late-game boss in Lieutenant Surge who uses Double Team. That's fine. I'm playing this Pokemon hack, like, on the side right now. The first gym leader uses nothing but Double Team. Unless you're using something that is weak to his team, all they will use is Double Team. So it's like, oh, good. I'm going to get destroyed one turn, or I'm never going to be able to hit you. That's fantastic. Like, Double Team does seem like a late game sort of attack, just in the concept of, okay, well, I'm going to make it so you can't hit me. Or I'm going to raise my evasion like 2 stages, so like within 3 turns, you're definitely never going to be able to hit me. But at the same time, I think Double Team is one of those attacks that's heavily reliant on you missing from your initial volley. Like, if I were to miss his monster with Double Team first move, then I probably would never be able to hit him again. But if I can hit him that first turn, it sort of knocks him off balance, to the point where it's not too much of a big deal. Oh no! Light screen. Truly a problem. I'm gonna use Rollout, and you're gonna use Hyper Potion, so I should just use Dig again. Oh well. I'm a little bit worried about Rollout, though, because of its initial low damage. How'd I get 2 turns in a row on him? Oh, I see, because he healed first. Okay, yeah, I just figured that out. I'm dumb, is the short version of that. Alright, so what do we got next? We have Magneton. No, we're good. I genuinely don't think I have anything to worry about. First of all, I'm still using Rollout, which won't be super, or shouldn't be super effective anyway. Yeah. And even if I didn't, I could both ground attack or, you know, just hit you with fire and melt you. So there's nothing to worry about there. So there, we beat Lieutenant Surge, plus we got one of the coolest electric moves in the game. The problem with it, though, is it's like a 50-50 chance whether it hits, but it's like the most powerful electric ability, and that is Zap Cannon. And, I mean, let's just be honest, it's probably the coolest named electric attack. We should have gotten Zapken from that, or am I misremembering? Oh well. I mean, it doesn't really matter. We pretty much built our monsters more or less how we wanted them to be. Okay, so we're pretty much done with that. This person's still trampling the ground for a tower here like he was previous generation, because, you know, he's really bad at what he does. I can sympathize. Okay, we go to Bill's PC. We should deposit Awesomon and take out, I believe it was Van Dam. Yes, it was. And we'll go try and take on another gym leader. But that's really just Kanto. It's trying to sort of cover existing bits of territory. The nice thing is most of the story is gone at this point, and it's really just a matter of covering ground, from what I remember. That said, there are still some obstacles, like Snorlax. I think we can't go to Saffron yet, because for the same reason we couldn't before, they're thirsty, and we need to give them water because they're lazy. Let's fight some people. Yeah, let's throw Darkwing out in front. Phanpy. Phanpy's a silly monster that took its color scheme from the Great Ball. It's very cute, though. I do like Phanpy's design. I don't like its evolution so much. I think its evolution doesn't look very good, but... I think Phanpy is either normal or ground. I can't remember. Probably ground. Well, you hit me with... Well, you tried to hit me with Rollout anyway. Really? Just a normal berry? Again, it feels kind of like we're taking a step back after the Elite Four and everything's just really kind of easy sauce. Teddiursa, now. Phanpy was the Pokemon Silver monster. If you had Gold, you had Teddiursa. Since we have Crystal, I think we actually get both, but we don't get Mareep, so it doesn't matter. We lose out on one of the coolest monsters. Which makes me sad. Teddiursa, I believe, is a normal type, though. And it turns into a big angry bear. But it dies very, very quickly. Alright, Alan, you lost. Also, they very clearly do not have children, so I don't know what their battle portrait's on about. Now let's see if we can go into Saffron. Huh. We actually can go straight to Saffron. That's interesting. Now, if I recall, there's someone here who we need to give a Pokemon doll to, and we don't actually have one of those right now. The Magnet Train. This is a very quick way to get from Johto to Kanto. It's a lot faster than walking or using the boat. If I recall, there's a place where you can get a Psychic TM around here, and I do want that. Mr. Psychic's house. That sounds like where I need to be. That is, in fact, exactly what I wanted. This guy really is a Psychic. Okay, now... should use that, because that actually seems useful. Because Psychic is still awesome. And Luna can learn it, and I want to diversify Luna's abilities, so let's have her learn this. Yes. I feel like we should get rid of Confuse Ray. But I know Feint Attack's probably not the best, nor Shadow Ball, and we'll get rid of Swift. I know there's one more move I want to get on Luna, but it's going to be a little while before we can get that. Okay, so we're basically good for the moment. Yeah, there's a psychic gym. Let's go do that. Because we have a dark monster, and that should make life a little bit easier for us. Oh god, yeah, that's right. Bad teleporters are bad. I forgot how bad this gym was. Oh, that's creepy. It's a piggy! With big pointy ears and like an elephant snout for reasons. And I have a dark attack, so I should be okay. I mean, it's not a highly damaging dark attack, but I've got levels on you too, so it should be alright. Go team. You and your Hypno, Rebecca. I'm not worried about your Hypno. That was kind of a neat little animation, though. I do quite like the added animations Pokemon Silver added. I don't know why they got rid of them for Gen 3, Gen 4. I think they brought them back in Gen 5. And then after that, they were all, like, 3D models, which was a little bit jarring. I still think they look a little weird as 3D models, but still. Alright. There's no one here. No one here. Hey! Are there just like two old ladies? That seems like a very unprotected gym. I mean, I get that Brock's gym had 2 trainers, and I get Faulkner's his gym had 2 trainers, but still, it seems a little weak to lower the number of trainers in your gym, especially considering that this was, in fact, one of the later gyms. I mean, that's why it has so many rooms with teleporters. They all had a trainer in them. But I guess that's just sort of a, once again, a callback to going to Kanto and everything just sort of going back to being a little bit easy. I could have used electric attacks on you. I don't need to, but I could. Okay, that was a cool animation. I just love the exchanged glances with the shell that's eating its tail and the silly little whatever the hell he's supposed to be, mini hippopotamus. That was cute. I liked that. There's sort of a shared understanding that, well, this situation sucks, but we're in it together. I liked that. That was funny. Alright, Doris, you lose. Okay, now. I think it... Oh, hey, we got another trainer. So I think if we keep following the right side, we'll just eventually end up like at the start. Hey, it's cosplaying Faulkner again. Go away, we're not interested. You lost all the way back in the first gym. Get over it. I think by this point, Alakazam was still the best Psychic type. But there really weren't too many added Psychic types in Gen 2. I think there was Natu, its evolution, Slowking, I guess. But I think that was basically it. Really, there weren't too many added Psychic types in Gen 2. Oh, hey, Jared, with your Mr. Mime. Mr. Mime always was just such a weird-looking monster, and it felt like a monster that was trying to be human, which made it even more strange, you know? I mean, mimes are, in and of themselves, kind of creepy. But, you know, making a monster out of a mime is almost as weird as Jinx, but with less racism. I'm not really sure what I was supposed to get out of that animation. Were they, like, spinning around or something? Also, one of them is cracked. Does that mean, like, its brain goo is seeping out, or what? I think Execute is weird. Oh, hey, we disconnected again. Hooray. Moonlight! That's the move I wanted to learn! Yes, I will. Okay, goodbye, Confuseray. I feel bad getting rid of Confuseray, but I think Moonlight's gonna be more useful. Alright, Execute. Or perhaps Exa Ugly? I don't think you're all that attractive. Down you go. Alright, we just beat Exa Ugly. Because it's not cute, it's just ugly. Hey, I remember you. I kicked your ass. Nope. There we go. Of course you knew I was coming. You heard the teleporting sound effects ad nauseum. And I'm gonna kick your ass with a dark type. For what it's worth, the only pure dark type at this point. Also, she no longer has a whip. She used to. Oh, I see how it is. Espeon. Well, you're about to lose hard. Well played. But, I still have elements, stab, and level on you, so I'm not really worried all that much, Espeon. Plus, I now have Moonlight. So I'm pretty much set. Next. I gotta admit, like, this kind of throws the entire balance of Gen 1 Pokemon out the window a little bit. Like, Gen 1, it felt like there was quite a ways in between gyms. Like, even from Cerulean to Vermilion, it felt like there was at least a bit of time and build up to gyms, whereas here it's basically just knock them out left, right, and center. Because you already got the levels, you've already got the HMs. All that really matters is traversing the land at this point. That's a good move, but there's very few monsters to learn it. Also, they got really cool sound effect Recover had in Gen 1. I like that sound effect. Or whatever that was. Also, at this point, I believe that is still the strongest Psychic type. And I'm running out of Feint Attack, which is a problem. I'm not sure if Ghost attacks work on Psychics this generation, or if that was last, or whatever, because Ghost is always kind of a weird type to plan around. So does Dark, honestly, though. Mr. Mime. I don't remember you having a Mr. Mime. Or an Espeon, honestly. I don't think you would bother raising up an Eevee, seeing as it's a normal type. I could see you having, like, a team of 4 Kadabras and, like, 2 Alakazams or something, though. That could be a problem for us. Because that means she's probably going to survive this hit as well, or not. You know, that works out well. Go Team Critical. She looks like she's training to be a mime. There should be a dash or a space in that. There's Sabrina, but yes, I did get a Marsh badge. Now, if I can get a Mallow badge, we are all set. I already was! Damn it, you're a Psychic, you should know the whole deal. Oh, these bad teleporters are bad. It's not like they make this area, like, interesting or difficult or anything, it's just busy work, really. Alright, let's go to the Fighting Dojo. Hello. That's okay. I'll take this. Focus Band. I think that makes it harder to get, like, instant KO'd. I think it saves you from that. I think. May prevent fainting. Well, don't have a lot of hold items. Might as well give it to someone. I'll give it to Luna. Luna's got Moonlight, so she can heal up if she needs to. But we can go fight the Dojo Master in Johto and get a Tyrogue, but seeing as we already have one, there's not really much of a point. Okay, yeah, so we gotta go deal with the problem at the power plant at some point, when we can be asked. Oh hey, they cut the tree here. Hooray! Let's go fight ourselves another gym leader. This one happens to be water element, and we just happen to have an electric type. That isn't Mareep, and I'm gonna still try not to cry about that. Oh, right. I recall there's like a hidden thing in the water somewhere here that you gotta deal with at some point. I forget. Okay, well, I think we have to go see Bill or something, possibly. Like I said, it's been a while since I've done this, but, I guess what we'll do... Start DW in front and just travel the path and see if we can run to other people to fight. That'd be nice. It looks so different from Gen 1. It's been so long since I played this part. There's no people on the Nougat Bridge. It's sad, lonely, and no nougat to be had. Oh, you just moved them over. Okay, fair enough. I want nougat! Oddish. Oh, you sad, silly child. You're about to learn what I learned when I picked Chikorita my first time playing this game. And that is, don't pick a grass type, especially against a steel type, because bad things happen to you. And also, I've got levels on you, so I'm not really worried. Alright, good work, DW. But, yeah, at this point I have no idea what we're doing. We're just kind of bumming around Kanto, hoping to find something, because I've not played this part in about 20 years. Okay, Ellen, what you got? That was an adorable animation. I love it. Okay, but, you're gonna get steel-winged all the same. And that should work pretty effectively, seeing as you're a normal type. And it did! Go team! Granbull, I think, is still a normal type. I've never bothered to actually train one. Because, I mean, who wants Snubbull? Snubble's such a dumb monster. Come on, Steelwing. Oh, that's not good. I mean, I still have levels on you regardless of who you drag out, but still. Alrighty, well. Zappy zappy. Alright, and... ah, come on. Oh well, at least I got the paralysis effect. They can't all be like my awesome Eevee who instant paralyzes everything for reasons. I still don't know why someone thought that was a good idea, but I love it. I'm noticing. I'm just also having to focus on not getting my ass kicked by something 15 levels below me. And also trying to figure out where the hell I have to go next. But hooray for people! I don't get enough of them, mainly because I get no one. Okay, so who do we got? Joe. Go be a car battler. Oh, see, now I gotta play car battler Joe again. Oh well, that's a fun game. Okay, so again, don't bring a grass type to a steel type fight. It's a bad idea. The 40 or so times I went up against what's-her-name in Olivine with my Chikorita was just depressing. And I appreciate that. I appreciate getting some more views out there because I'm still very, very new to this whole streaming thing, and also, given my terrible internet connection, not making too many viewers myself, which is sad. I gotta get my new cable in soon. I mean, the nice thing is you can see all this stuff on my YouTube channel without having to see all, like, the cuts and stuff that's missing, but still. I'm just embarrassed about how bad my internet connection is for all this stuff. Not very effective, you're a water type. I would think that wouldn't be too bad, but I guess that's just trying to balance it out. Okay, well, I'll swift you anyway. Take that, Joe. You silly schoolboy. Where are you planning on streaming? Who do I wanna... Let's throw Kaz out there. Now see, any game after this would be a dual battle, but it's not. Because before dual battles, you just had to take turns. I'm sure I will grow. I mean, my YouTube channel's been growing for 5 years or whatever. But still, you know, it's frustrating, especially when stuff constantly just sort of gets in the way of you succeeding in any way, shape, or form. The most frustrating thing about it is, like, when it's something that is completely out of your control, though. Like, you know, my current internet connection is garbage, and I'm trying to get a better cable that will save me from disconnecting every 2 minutes. Hopefully it'll be here this week, but, the post office strike has, kind of dashed all my plans. Ooh, Soul Silver. That's a great game. That's one of my favorite DS games, actually. I had a blast with Soul Silver. That's because I started Gen 2 with Silver. In fact, had I realized that Mareep wasn't in this, I wouldn't have gotten Silver. Or I would have gotten Silver over Crystal. I was just told Crystal had pretty much all the stuff that was in Gold and Silver that was exclusive. No one told me my favorite electric type wasn't here. I just want Ampharos, damn it. Oh, it's sad. But I got a lantern, so that's interesting. I don't think I've ever really, like, seriously used a lantern. Plus, I finally got to use a Gligar, which is an interesting little thing, all the same. Alright, I gotta fight this guy too now. I've never done a Nuzlocke. They seem interesting, but I don't know. I like challenges too, so it seems like something that'd be right down my alley, but I've just never bothered. Okay, I have to admit, I love the inclusion of Nidorino and Nidorina because Nidoking, Nidoqueen are two of my favorite monsters. I don't think I've ever used Shaman, though. I'm not one who really uses legendaries all that much. I think Gen 1 I used Mewtwo because who didn't? Gen 2 I used Suicune because Suicune was awesome, and Lugia because Lugia was pretty cool. Gen 3 I think I sometimes used Groudon, but that was about it. Maybe Latios, but after that I just stopped bothering. But I think part of that's because Gen 4 was... well, it was Gen 4, it was just bad. Oh no! We're disconnecting again! Because horrible internet connection is horrible. Oh god damn it. So sad. Alright, Iron-Tail. I will squish your silly insect with a tail made of iron. Another one? Seriously, I think I can get through all these people with just Iron-Tail, really. Although we are running out of PP for it, so maybe we shouldn't go too crazy with it. You know, Spore seems like a weird attack, seeing as Sleep Powder exists, and Poison Powder exists, and Paralysis Powder exists. It just seems... I think the only reason Spore should exist, like, in addition to those 3 attacks that are basically the same thing, is if Spore was, like, a randomizer for it. Like, you know, one turn maybe it does, like, Paralysis, the next turn it does Poison or something. Like, I think that would be interesting, but as it stands, it's basically Sleep Powder. That's slightly more bug, I guess. Oh god, unknowns. Oh, that's sad. I've got a lot of history with unknowns and none of it's good. I remember I didn't actually catch my first unknown until after I made it to Kanto because I could not for the life of me figure out the sliding puzzles. Well, that's because, like, the first one has, like, 4 tiles that look identical and you just have to swap them around a little bit. I remember after that I immediately dedicated myself to trying to catch every single unknown there was. And that was a giant waste of time for no real payoff. Like, I thought something cool would happen, and nothing happened, of course, which is sad. I remember, quite famously, very, very early on in Game Center CX, there was a interview piece with Satoshi Tajiri, who is, of course, the guy who made Pokemon. And, he ended up trading the Kacho, the guy who hosts Game Center CX, an unknown for, I think it was like a Poliwrath or something, and it's like, oh, that is such a one-sided trade. It's like, I'm not even all that super into Pokemon, but man, that is a one-sided trade. I feel bad for the poor Kacho. Oh, stop calling me about dumb things. Oh, hey, it's a doll for our room. Awesome. And we're still disconnected. Fantastic. Moo-foo-foo-foo-foo. I'm here to give you some nougats. Have at it. Super nerd Pat. With his patness. Hey, Porygon. That's a hard-to-get monster. I'm not even sure how to get Porygon in Gen 2. How do you even get a Porygon here? I mean, Gen 1, I know you had to do a lot of slot machine nonsense. I don't even think you can get a Porygon in Gen 2. Also, Tri-Attack. I like that move. Very few monsters learn it, but I like it. Quick Attack should finish you off. Hooray! So that's done. Not really, no. Hooray, I got a nougat. You guys should just take up that bridge like the other nougat trainer guys. Alright, fine. I'll kick your ass just like I kicked everyone else's. Let's go. You... Kevin, you... I believe that is the same sound clip as Charizard has, actually. And I will stand by that assertion, because if it's not the same, it's very, very similar. Yeah, he was like Diet Charizard for Rhyhorn. Although Rhydon gets a completely different one that doesn't sound remotely connected to Rhyhorn. Could be that they just got their sound clips mixed up. Hey, a Warwaddle. I will use Jewel then, because electric attacks. Your floofy Cloudtail doesn't scare me, although I do like the floofy Cloudtail and the ears that look like wings. I think it's weird that you lose your wing ears and your floofy Cloudtail. But either way, you get electrocuted like any other water type. Go team. Hey, Charmeleon. Alright. Why didn't you have an Ivysaur if you were going to go for, like, the trifecta? Actually, Jewel's fine for Charmeleon. because water type. Oh, that's a cool sprite. See, this is why you get Charmander. You get the best one every single time. It's not a vegetable, it's not a little teeny tiny turtle. You get a badass flamethrower dinosaur. It wasn't that good a battle, dude. Okay. Welcome to Bill's house. Bill's not here anymore. Oh, I don't have it, but, you know, if I find one, sure, I guess. I don't know, when I played Pokemon Gen 1, like, I knew beyond a shadow of a doubt I was getting Charmander from the start. It's like, just very clearly, like, the most me monster there is out there. Like, I cannot think of another monster that is more like me out there. Just, you know, flamethrower, dinosaur, done. Okay, I don't think Misty's back. I can't remember what to do with her, so I guess we'll come back later. I think one thing we have to do is fix the power plant to make a bunch of stuff happen, so I guess we'll head in that direction. Seeing as I don't think we can go to Pewter yet. And I guess that's sort of our plan of attack. What's this sign say? This is where there was a house that was broken into that one time. Hey, there's a little Diglett! Goodbye, Diglett. Okay, so... the nice thing is they got rid of most of, like, the cut trees, as I say as I walk into one. And I think that's a nice little design choice, you know, it's like, well, you got all the HMs, clearly you can use them, let's just get rid of it and save you all some time, and, you know, that's appreciated because HMs suck. And that's yet another reason why that new Pokemon on the Switch is actually kind of good. No HMs. And a ridiculously broken Eevee. Okay, so we gotta withdraw. Who had Awesomon? That's right. Like, that's the thing, we haven't really used Cut since Elix Forest, really. Like, and, you know, you play Gen 3, you basically have to have a Tropius on your team just because it knows half the HMs, and a Sharpedo just because it knows the other half. I know the Eevee in Let's Go is broken. I'm streaming that game on a weekly basis as well. I literally have not need to use any other monster. I love my incredibly broken Eevee. It is like one of the best things ever. I still wish I could evolve it, but damn if that doesn't make it satisfying to just curb stomp the game with one monster. Okay, I guess I had to talk to you to fight you. I'm not leaving litter behind, although that's probably a secret that there's some hidden items around. Possibly. I'm on good pace for soloing as well. I just have other monsters just so I can try and catch everything, even though I'm limited to what I can. Like, that's the thing. I hate that I could potentially catch every monster in the game if the Pikachu version didn't have some exclusives, if Mew wasn't exclusive to that stupid Pokeball controller, and if one wasn't exclusive to an iPhone app that my phone cannot run. It's sad because it's like, oh, this might be the first time since actual Gen 1 I could theoretically get all the monsters, and I can't. Oh, why are there so many disconnects? Actually, I'm not sure that one actually did disconnect. It looked like it was about to, but it did seem to. I'm glad about that. I'm sick of all the disconnects. Actually, I might be streaming something else later tonight. If I got my math right, I think something else is coming out tonight. So I might be able to do that for something as well. Well, I think this generation's Eevee is a little bit different than, you know, just using a standard Eevee. First of all, it gets a huge stat boost, but also you can learn every different element's attacks with it. But, you know, trying to solo a game using only Eevee, it certainly would be doable. I think that was one of the things you could do in, I want to say it was Pokemon Coliseum XD Darkness GameCube whatever nonsense. But honestly, I kind of like the new Pokemon. I wish you could actually fight the monsters you run into. But other than that, it just seems like a good game for what it is. Anyway. But that said, I've also never played the Pokemon Go things. Well, yeah, it being overpowered would kind of make it less and less of a joke. But, you know, it's still a pretty fun game for what it is. Dean, you lost. Alright, so we are on our way to Lavender Town. Even though we could just access it from Saffron. Yes, Mount Silver is in Johto. We won't be seeing it till the end because of reasons, really, but once again, making me angry about this game. Seriously, why are all the cool things not available till the end? I mean, I get that's the, like, end game level, but there's monsters exclusive to that area. I mean, hell, it's not until you're, like, 80% the way through Johto, at least, that you really find the cool Gen 2 monsters. I don't go outside either much. I'm basically a shut-in. Outside of, like, having work, but even right now I'm unemployed outside of my YouTube channel's Patreon. Which, you know, feel free to support that so I can continue to eat. That'd be nice. But, you know, I've played a couple of games that were kind of fun to take outside. If you ever had a Game Boy Advance and you played Boktai, that was a game that had a solar sensor in the game, and you had to use it to collect sunlight to fight vampires. That was a very, very neat game, but, oh, the Pokewalkers. I remember those. I think I still have mine. It had a shiny, Ninetales on it, if I recall. I think the battery on it died, so I'm pretty sure it's gone too, so... But I know where it is. I don't think it's, functional right now anymore. It kind of came across as weird that they'd add, like, a pedometer to their Pokemon game. Like, I'm not against it, but it feels like you're making some kind of commentary about your core audience when you have to add a pedometer to your game. That's how things are, I'm afraid, but, you know, I appreciate you trying to get some viewers in for me. I'm sure it helps with my channel's subscriptions and whatever, and hopefully someone will be able to see this who can pledge, because, oh, I actually just lost my biggest Patreon, which sucks. And now I'm making about $13 a month, and that's my sole income, which is a little bit tricky. I mean, the nice thing is, I worked my last job long enough that I've got unemployment for at least a little while, which helps pay rent, but, it's not the best financial situation for me, and, there's not a lot of jobs that really want to hire me, or even jobs I'm really suited for in this town. I was born in a crap town, I just can't afford to leave, unfortunately. But, you know, this is sort of what I've always been passionate about, it's what I've always been good at, so well, that and I lost 15 years of my life's work to a flood, and all I had was my passion, so I tried to turn this into a job, and, I mean, it's not the most successful, but I'm trying. Alright, let's see. I think my brother still uses his Pokewalker as well. Really? That's interesting. Most accurate pedometer. I mean, I wouldn't think that would be a huge category, but still, you know, that says something about the accuracy of your little cheap plastic thing that was included with the game. Alright, so let's check the power plant because I can't remember where we need to go officially. I just know the power plant has a problem and we need to deal with it at some point. If I recall, it's that the power plant, like, lost its key to its generator and it's in the Cerulean Gym or something. I think vaguely. After I caught the Zapdos that was ruling it, thank you. Okay, can I get a clue as to where this person went, perhaps? No, I don't. I know a lot of people bought Pokemon Soul Silver and Heart Gold just because of the Pokewalker 2. Can I have Zapganon? I would very much like that. Also, feel free to tell me where I need to go, please. That would be nice. Okay, fair enough. I guess I'll just... Like, the thing is, if I recall, it's sitting underwater in the Cerulean Gym, and you just have to stare at the water for a little while or something. I remember there being some important key part hanging out there. Yes you can, because... Look at me actually remembering something. That's impressive. I have trouble remembering what I ate for breakfast. I can remember every Mega Man level. I don't know, memory's a weird thing. Okay, so we're in Cerulean. So the guy should be here, and like I said, I remember it being... There we go. Hey, guy. I saw you. Yeah. Yeah, I know it's in the water gym, but it wasn't there previously, so I gotta grab it now. There we go. I will tell you right now, when I was a kid the first time I played Pokemon Silver, that took me forever to find. Like, I want to say that was probably one of the last things I could do, and there's so much that's actually hinging on fixing the power plant. Oh, I got so much done that wasn't that. I think I ended up catching like a Houndour and raising it to like a level 50 Houndoom in that time. Which, to be fair, that's one of the coolest monsters that you can't get until Kanto, which pisses me off. Alright, can I fly to that other Pokemon Center? I'm betting I can't because... dumb. Nope, can't do that. Alright, well, we'll go back to Cerulean then. Alrighty. Oh, it's 4 already. If I recall, Just Cause 4 comes out at 5, so, maybe I'll stream that in a bit. I want to take a break between, but I'd like to, do some streaming of Just Cause 4 since it's coming out tonight, and I'm such a huge Just Cause fan. It'll be fun. I know I'm gonna have to cut this off in about half an hour, though, because I've got some other stuff I have to get done for my YouTube channel. But on the bright side, you can see everything else I've done on my YouTube channel, plus these streams that aren't chopped up because bad internet connection. Alright, cut down the tree! Use chop down instead of cut, that way we don't have to use an actual HM. It'd be awesome. That's impressive. I've got 2 shinies in Let's Go. One of which because I wanted to test the chaining system, and that's how I got a shiny Ninetales, and the other, I just randomly ran into a shiny Pidgey for no reason. It was kind of special. Which was weird because that's probably the first time I'd run into an actual shiny monster that didn't immediately kill itself. Like, that's the thing. Outside the mandatory Gyarados, I've run into a shiny Electrode that blew up immediately. I ran into a shiny Graveler that blew up immediately. I ran into a shiny Skuntank that blew up immediately. And then I ran into a shiny Weepinbell in Silver that I ran from because I didn't realize it was shiny. I ran from... No, I fainted a shiny Volbeat from Ruby because I didn't realize it was shiny. I was playing outside at the time and the sunlight reflected off my screen. I couldn't see the colors properly. And I think there was one more, but I can't think of what it was. What shinies you got? I like the subtle audio changes. Like, the music just changes in Kanto, and I kind of like that. I don't know if it's trying to be like a modified rendition of the original Pokemon battle themes or whatever, but I kind of like it. Alrighty, here's your machine part guy. Zap Cannon, which I in fact will be using. It's basically like a 50-50 attack, but oh, it's so cool. And it's got like the coolest lightning attack name. So we are very much going to use Zap Cannon. Yes, please. Luna can learn it? That's interesting. No, I think we'll be giving it to Jewel. Because Spark needs to go away. And soon, hopefully, we'll be able to get rid of Water Gun, because, man, Water Gun sucks. Oh, that's not a bad little list. Eevee Shiny is pretty cool. You can get a shiny Umbreon, which I think is one of the nicest shinies. Charmander has a neat evolution when it's shiny as well. And I know Vulpix is quite a pretty shiny when it evolves. I've got a shiny Pidgey as well. Although I've evolved it to a Pidgeot, even though I'm not really using it. Like, that's the thing. I don't think there are really all that many nice-looking shinies. Like, a lot of them just seem to either be yellow or, like, green, and kind of, like, sickly puke green. I think some of the best shinies are Ponyta, but not its evolution, Ditto. Charizard's not bad. But... Oh, and Nidoking, because it actually takes Nidoqueen's color scheme. Although, weirdly enough, a shiny Nidoqueen does not take a Nidoking's color scheme, which I think is a missed opportunity. But I really don't think there's all that many shinies that are all that interesting, because they all take this sort of same generic yellow or, like, green color, and it just doesn't look very good. It's the ones that take, like, sort of an inversion of the colors that they're supposed to get that really come across as interesting. Deposit. If I recall, either Voltorb or Electrode turns blue instead of red, which I think is kind of cool. Like, that's kind of striking. Like I said, I ran into a shiny Skuntank at one point, and that was bright red, and I thought that was really striking. But that's the thing, like, half the shinies just don't look good, and I don't know why people care that much. Like, yes, I would like a shiny Umbreon, both because I love Umbreon and because I think it's one of the nicest shinies, but, you know, I'm not gonna go super far in my way for it. Oh god, it's still dark. Truly, we are doomed. Okay. Deposits. Yeah, we'll deposit Kaz, sure. Withdraw. Who the heck had that? Was it Omelette? Yes, Omelette had Flash. Congratulations, Omelette, you have a use once again. I've never played the Mystery Dungeon games. I've played the games that spawned them, like I played Shiren the Wanderer. I reviewed it recently and I quite liked it. I know it originally started out as a spin-off of Dragon Quest and now it's a Pokemon thing, but I've never played the Pokemon ones. But they look like fun games, certainly. Alright, let's try this again. Yep, you have a good night as well. I'm probably gonna wrap this up in about 20 minutes anyway. I got some stuff I need to do, and then maybe I'll come back and do some Just Cause, because apparently I get to play it 2 days early. Yep, night. Alrighty. I kind of like this remake. Like, I hate the initial Pokemon song this is, but I kind of like how it sounds like it's coming off like a staticky bad radio or something. Like, that's actually... It's not ear-bleedingly annoying, it's just kind of creepy, which I think is what it was trying to initially be. This place is a lot different than I remember it being from Gen 1. Where the hell am I even going? We're gonna run to a point where I either need Rock Break or, like, Strength or something. We're just gonna be stuck. I don't think I have any escape ropes either, that's a problem. Up, down, right. Hey, another down place. Let's go this way. This looks vaguely familiar, actually, from Pokemon Let's Go. I mean, the layout's marginally different, but I kind of remember where I am now. There should be a ladder up at the top of this area, and then it should be one more screen, and then we're out. Which is kind of nice, because I don't want to be in here. Any place that requires me to have Flash makes me sad. Hey, an item. What do we got? Hey. What TM do we have right here? 47. It's the Hitman TM is what it is. Steel Wing. No, it's Silent Assassin. Get it right. Oh, now I gotta play Hitman. That's gonna be fun. I wanna play that new Hitman that came out, or like the new season of Hitman. Because I really liked Season 1 of Hitman. But it kind of had the same problem that every episodic game ever had, except for the ones made by Telltale, the late company that no longer exists. But, you know, that's the thing about episodic gaming. It's an interesting idea where you make lots of small games very, very quickly, but the thing is, people never really got on board with the whole releasing them quickly thing. They always took forever. I mean, look at Sonic the Hedgehog Episode 4. Or Sonic the Hedgehog 4 Episode 1 and 2. That was supposed to be like a 6-episode game, if I recall. They only ever got 2 done, and they were like a year apart. They took freaking forever. They didn't really have anything new to each other. They basically just reused each other's assets. And they took forever to put together. I mean, Half-Life has had 2 episodes, and they took forever to put out. They still haven't put out Episode 3, and they're probably never going to, because I think Valve is legitimately allergic to the number 3. You know, I just genuinely don't think episodic gaming worked. Like, it works on a conceptual level, but just no one really followed through with it, and that's the problem. Except for Telltale, and, you know, look at what happened to them. Actually, you should probably invest in Telltale games at this point, because I'm sure all their games are going to be delisted soon enough. Which reminds me, I really want to get that Strong Bad game. It's been a long time since I've thought about it, but man, I want to get that game. But, you know, there really aren't that many Telltale games that really interested me. I mean, I've heard that Jurassic Park game is a complete nightmare to try and play, like, it's just bad. Never been a Borderlands fan, really. I've played all of them, but I don't think any of them are really good games. The Wolf Among Us doesn't seem interesting. I've never cared for The Walking Dead. Sam & Max could be interesting. But, you know, that's just because I like the old Sam & Max Hit the Road game. You know, there's really not much that Telltale's made on their own that really comes across as all that interesting to me. Hey, we still got creepy music. Hooray! But now it's nicer creepy music. That's kind of nice. Yes, yes I did. We got an expansion card for our radio. Which, and this is a big important deal if I recall. Let's just open up our Poké Gear. Let's see, we gotta find it. Where is it? Places and people. Let's all sing. Poké Flute. Now we can wake up a Snorlax. This took me, I swear to God, months when I was a kid. Like, I had done everything else in Kanto, but I, for the love of God, could not find the extra part for the power plant, which is kind of an important thing. Like, it's sort of the one big roadblock to Kanto, really. And now we've got that covered. Young me would be so impressed with me right now. Let's get rid of Omelette. That's funny. Like, just thinking about how much time I spent stuck on that as a kid. It's like, just get it done, like, less than an hour. No big deal. Alright. Where is Kaz? Alright, we're gonna heal up, and I think we're gonna call it, because we've done quite a fair bit in a little bit of time here. Plus, I've got some other stuff I need to get done before I hopefully get to play Just Cause 4. Very excited about that. But, yeah, I mean, I guess if Just Cause 4 really is playable for people who've got, like, the digital version, I guess I'll be back in an hour or two and play some of that for you. That'll be fun. But, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to follow the Twitch channel. Go check out my YouTube channel, subscribe to that, where you can see episodes of stuff like this, not chopped up because of my horrible internet connection, plus my awesome reviews and everything. If you really want to make my day, feel free to hit up the Patreon, support me there, get yourself on the Patreon supporters Discord, and we can talk about how mad my child self would be with me, just completely obliterating how much time it took him to get that damn expansion card / bit for the generator. Seriously, I can't begin to tell you. I think it took me probably 3 months. That's really depressing, but still, take that, younger me. Anyway, I will see you possibly later tonight or next time. Peace out, Internet.